We're good. All right, my computer says we are live, Justin. Um, see if we got. Oh, gotta refresh my chat here. Welcome to Baitman Live, Justin Roll. If you're in the chat, welcome. Man, it's Friday night. I've got done working. You probably got done making a few videos.
We in here. I've been editing all day. Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on, dude. I appreciate you.
Yeah, Justin's his camera looks so much better than mine. I'm gonna have to get some tips on that thing. But I hate to give him a plug, but I'm wearing his Justin Royal Heaters Only shirt, and he's wearing the Fish Every Day to the Apocalypse. You know me, I love the purple, so I had to immediately buy one when that come out.
Much appreciated, brother. I appreciate the support, dude. It means a lot.
But we're just gonna stream tonight for I don't know however long Justin wants to go. I don't know how many people will join in. People got a lot of stuff going on Fridays, but just to give y'all a heads up, we can let you know if you want to go shopping on the Six Sense website tonight. Use the code BF20. Everything's 20% off from now
Yes, sir.
until what, November 30th?
Black Friday time. BF20. Get in where you fit in.
That's right. If you're going to get on the website tonight, Justin, what are going to be a few things the viewers need to pick out?
I'm stocking up on Provoke 106X jerk baits for sure. There's a couple colors that I don't have here yet. Um, Fall time, I love throwing a finesse square bill crankbait or even the Crush Flat 75X.
Yeah.
Something in the shad pattern. Maybe like the shad scales, like that right there.
Isn't that one of the nastiest colors out there?
Dude, so nasty. I've been lighting them up on the curve finesse. Uh, so that's two that I definitely and also, man, the topwater bite. If you're in the South, is don't sleep on that topwater bite. It's cracking off here right now.
Yeah.
So that catwalk.
The catwalk is so good. I even caught a fish on it, and I've got a video proof of it.
Awesome.
I need to post it on Instagram. We have got a $10 make you holler donation right off the start from Michael Ingblom. Michael, appreciate the $10 donation to the stream, man. If you got something, a question for us, we'll answer it right off the bat. Uh,
Awesome.
as always, guys, don't feel like you have to donate. Send a super chat, but if you do, I really appreciate it, and it's something I use to buy stuff or unboxings and equipment and stuff like that. But again, if you're just now joining, Justin Royal is in here. His YouTube channel is linked below. Um, this man needs to get 100,000 subs. He has good content, and I'll just let you guys know. We'll just kind of we're just gonna go off the hoof, but I started watching Justin stuff, man, I want to say about a year ago or whatnot, maybe a little longer than that. But Justin would jump into streams and whatnot, and he would, he would comment and whatnot, and Instagram, follow me on Instagram, and I got to watching his stuff one night. I'm like, man, he's got it going on, and I like that it was raw. Like he would say, listen, I'm new to this, I'm just trying to explain, show you my day as I try to figure out bass fishing and what works and what doesn't. And then I saw, I think you and a buddy were fishing. You caught a giant on a 50X square bill.
Oh yeah, that's 6 1/4. That's 6 1/4.
Yeah,
Ooh, good
and
day.
the fish has kept growing since, but we've become pretty good friends. And uh, I'll tell you this about life in general: if you surround yourself with positive people, positive things happen. And Justin's a very positive person, and I respect that. As he says, you come original or don't come all. He is who he is. He doesn't hide it. He doesn't make clickbait copycat videos, and he does his own thing. And I really like that. And I like how when you watch Justin's videos, he can be informative, especially on the water. Unboxings are different. Everybody's got their own formula to unbox a package, and I do like to watch those. But when he's on the water, he tells a really good story, and I like that.
Man, thank you so much for the kind words, dude. I appreciate it. And I actually have a cool little Baitman story that I want to kick it off with, if that's cool with you. When I first started my fishing video creation journey, when I first started filming everything and putting it on YouTube, as far as the fishing goes, I was just cruising through, watching a lot of fishing content, and I came across the Baitman's channel, and Baitman was doing a live, and it showed up in my suggestions, and I popped into my very first Baitman live ever, and I always refer to Bax as the Encyclopedia Britannica of bass baits, man. Because dude just knows, you just know so much, man. You're such a plethora, a well of knowledge when it comes to baits, more than I'll ever know about these things, you know. And it was really cool to be in that live stream. I noticed you were answering everybody's questions, so I threw a question up, and I was like, would you ever considering, or have you ever collaborated with any other fishing YouTubers? And I think your answer was, I don't want to say the wrong name or call anybody out, but you said yeah, and you were like, I've worked with, and you chunked out a couple pretty big names, man. Like, I can't remember exactly who it was, but some pretty prominent people in the online fishing community. And I was like, oh dang, that's crazy. He's worked with some big dogs. That probably puts me way down on the ladder as far as my placement goes in potentially ever doing something with this cat. And now here I am, after doing bass fishing videos for, over 2 years now. I'm on the Baitman Live, right. And I just want to say thanks for having me on, man. It's awesome. Yeah, that was just a cool little memory I had of my first time I ever interacted with you, and you. I can't remember what names you dropped, but I was like, "Oh man, those are some big dogs."
Well,
man.
The thing is,
it's just cool to be here.
I kind of felt the same way when those people work with me, and and the reality is, I've not done any videos with like Ben Milliken or some guys that's way up there. I've got blessed to do a video with Fluke Master and Tactical Fish for Tactical Bassin, and obviously Colin and Jay, they're good people. I did a stream with Cole. He's straight Team 6. Good people. I only like to collaborate with people I feel like I can hang out with in my house and feel comfortable with.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
Obviously I've known Ben, and we keep putting it off. It's not worked, and we're going to fish together. I think, for sure, Ronnie Kelly, Captain Ron's putting something special together, hopefully in February. And we're going to be bringing some straight heat.
It's going to be some
from Texas. I'm coming your way, and I got a DD on my list, and I'm going to try to catch it. So I think we got a few comments in here. I'm going to try to roll in and see what we got here. Shout out to my buddy Luke Ripple, a guy from the chat, has now worked with me in my department at work. So how crazy is that? I've actually known him a long time. He's a good dude, and a good worker. So. Let's see. All right, does the discount work on the rods too? As far as I know, BF20, it works on everything. I think the only thing Casey ever excludes is custom painted baits, and I think they may not even be on there right now. So, Michael, our super chat donator, wants to know, any luck throwing the battle shad behind you? I have an original battle shad that's chewed up, and it works. I've got a Citizen 7 that's chewed up. I was actually going to go throw it this weekend below the dam where we got a lot of current, see if I can catch a hungry little small jaws down there. But let's see, all kinds of questions. It's me, I like to answer these questions, Justin.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, someone asked, Justin, what lakes do you fish? I've never asked you, what lakes do you fish there in Texas?
Hill country lakes, Travis, LBJ. Those are the 2 lakes that I'm mainly bouncing between. But we got some really awesome lakes out here: Lady Bird, Lake Austin, Decker Lake. But Travis is my home lake.
So describe Lake Travis. It's obviously from your videos you can tell it's a clear lake, a lot of rock. I've noticed.
Yeah,
I've never been on
bottom. Yeah, rocky bottom, deep, clear water, steep drop-offs, ledges. It's on the Colorado River. It's where the Colorado meets the Pedernales River. They come together and they create Lake Travis, which then flows into Lake Austin. But yeah, I grew up in North Texas fishing chocolate milk, up there in the muddy waters, Lake Tawakoni, Lake Fork, that area. And when I got down here and started fishing this clear water, dude, it was a whole new world, so to speak. And I fell in love with fishing clear water. Totally had to change my game. You know, I'm used to throwing bright chartreuse and June bug,
That's me right there, baby.
black and blue. You know? And now I'm just so honed in on, you know, natural presentations, shad style baits, craw patterns, you know, green pumpkins and stuff that looks a whole lot more natural and not so bold. But man, this clear water is what rejuvenated my love for bass fishing. I've been fishing my whole life. You know, I grew up fishing ever since I was old enough to hold a pole. That's something we just did off in the sticks in North Texas. But when I got down here, crashed my motorcycle, broke my arm, and needed something to do. Started going down there to Lake Travis and fishing that clear water, dude, and just fell in love with it. And now I've fell deep over the past few years, and you know, now I own a bass boat. I sold my my Yamaha ski boat and bought a bass boat, and now I'm Faduda, fish every day till the apocalypse. We stay grinding.
Yeah, dude. It's I actually went back and looked at a bunch of past videos, and you shared some stuff like your YouTube really didn't start out as fishing. You were doing like motorcycle rides
Yeah,
and vlogging stuff
yeah,
like that, and
sure.
it's pretty crazy. And uh, I think you would be successful in that niche too. Uh, but what we talked about, and I tell people all the time, man, YouTube is about how hard you want to work. You can get a few videos that just take off, and that's okay. But even like Colin J, he's here in the chat. Cole is always great about helping people out, asking questions about the six and whatnot. But Cole was a grinder, man. I remember when he had like less than 1,000 subs, catching some straight up hogs on swim baits out of kayaks, and but they always kept up doing their thing, and it's a unique channel. Not everyone's husband and wife is wrangling snakes and finding
I love
spiders
it, dude.
and bass
Yeah, I'm
fishing.
big.
Yeah,
I love it.
but they're great people, and I think they're very transparent. And you know, they had a couple videos just pop off huge, but they noticed, hey, we got a lot of traction. We got to grind even harder now. And you know, Jay's got a little one on the way. It's tough. I got two that are probably raising Cain in the house right now. Uh, so it's tough with kids,
Yeah.
but um,
For sure, it's the YouTube grind. It's different than it used to be. I've been doing YouTube. Yeah, like you said, I used to do moto vlogs and motorcycle content back in the day. I've been doing YouTube since 2014, and only after I started my the once I switched over to just strictly fishing content, that's where I really felt like I found my groove, found my niche, and really found a new love for the art of making videos. And I really stepped my game up when I started doing the fishing. And you used to be able to just blow up really quick off a couple of videos, but now you're absolutely right. It's all about how hard you're willing to grind, how hard are you willing to work, and yeah, it takes a lot of dedication to grow a channel now. Unless you're just selling out to the algorithm and posting gimmicky stuff that Google wants to see, you really got to bust it to grow this thing. And yeah, man, that's the real deal. You better be ready to work. I work way harder than this than I ever did anything else I've ever done. Like, I put in so many more hours doing YouTube. It's insane.
I'm
It's
I'm not
constant.
ignoring you. I'm posting this on my Facebook page. Um,
No, you're good, bro.
I'm straight up listening. You're right. You know, there's a difference between having a title that I want to click on and get people excited about a video than just clickbait. Um,
Sure.
you know, I've tried it. I did some bass boat videos where I put is this the best bass boat ever or whatnot. But it was a brand new Vexus. A lot of people already had that in their mind that these guys are building the best bass boat ever. I want to see it, and it does
Yeah,
work,
yeah, that video popped off, man. I still see that. That video still pops up in my
dude.
suggestions. But
Both Vexus
one,
video and a Humminbird video I did with a great friend of mine, David Genevico. Those three right there have a stupid amount of views for me. A guy like Ben. Ben Milliken's got several 1 million plus
sure.
videos, but for me, I still pick up subs and stuff for that. What I hope is those guys you know, watch one of those videos. And go, well, let's check out some other content. They go, oh yeah, I love baits too. But you did that bass boat niche. is huge too.
Yeah, buying my first bass boat. That's one of my most popular videos, man. It's still cracking off. I mean, yeah, people love the bass boat content, but I make the content that I want to make. You know, and I film what I want to film, whatever I have fun doing.
How many?
That's what I'm gonna
I'm
post,
just
man.
looking back there. You're kind of a certified Shimano freak, aren't you?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, you know, as you can see, I'm all about the Shimanos. I know you're a Daiwa guy. And I've had some of your people over there saying on my channel talking about Baitman's Daiwa looks better,
Well,
and
I'm gonna be honest. I used to be 100% Shimano guy. Dude, you'll never hear me say a bad word about Shimano reels. Like, I could walk out of here, go pick up 2 Corrado case, take my Daiwas off, and I would feel awesome on the water. You know, it's not gonna
I
bother me
love
one bit.
the Corrado K. I guess I probably just haven't used the right Daiwas. I've had a couple buddies with them, and I fished with them, and I don't know, man. I just love Shimano. I'm the kind of dude where once I find something that I like that works for me, I mean, you really gotta topple the tower that I've built to get me to switch. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's kind of what I'm saying. Like it works for me. I know them in and out. It's the reel that I really enjoy using. But nothing against Daiwa or any other reels for that matter. They all have their place, and they're all, you know, most of the big names are quality, make some quality stuff. But I'm just Shimano guy through and through. But yeah, you see the Tower of Power back there, man. And I love that Corrado K, dude. That thing's a
You know what?
beast.
I tell people all the time, you know, man, you're on the Swimbait universe. I see you in there, but guys are so picky on what reel for. You know, they make the thread. It's I'm going to throw, you know, a 6-inch bass tricks, or I'm going to throw this a 5-inch or 6-inch bull shad, and this and that, and they're wanting like all these perfect reels. But at the end of the day, dude, and I've commented several times, just get a Corrado K. I mean, you can hold enough line for most swim baits and all that. You're good. Go ahead, go get what you need. Bring some baits.
You said 6-inch bull
Yeah,
shad.
buddy.
Here's my 6-inch dirty bone bull shad. Corrado K.
And you got that on the MF or Swimbait rod? Because I got one right here too. I just haven't put a reel on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my. I have 2 swim bait setups. That's one of them. I don't throw huge swim baits. You know, this is for my lake. This is probably, that's about as big as I would go. I do have some big Matt Lures soft swim baits, but this right here, dude. Shoot, I throw this all day long, and I love it.
Yeah.
That Corrado is funny.
Yeah. Only reason if you ever get into the big bait game, like the Depths 250s and some of the stuff that I tend to throw every now and then, you'll want at least a 300 size reel just for the fact, and this is a good tip for the viewers. It isn't, I want to put big heavy line on there because I want to break it off. Part of it, but you got to have a reel that can hold a good amount of that 20, 25 pound test small. But day in, day out, for
Right.
what I'm doing, most of the time, throwing, you know, soft swimmers, you know, stuff like this right here. I'll put it on for just a bit. These right here, these soft paddle tails, man, I'm using
Yeah.
17-pound test most of the time, jig head. You know, you're going
Right.
to throw big worms on that, so it shouldn't change because you're throwing a
Sure.
swim bait. But Corrado K handles it. Dude, my Daiwas can handle it, but
Yeah, I got 20 pound fluorocarbon on that Corrado. It's just
yeah, we ain't
it'll
sponsored
run.
by Shimano or Daiwa, so
Not at all. I wish. Not at all though.
yeah,
No.
if I was, I might have to dip in to that on Black Friday. But you did have a question, Justin Roll. Don G want to know what size jig head did you use on your small Kitex?
My small Kitex.
Yes, sir.
I'm probably I'm probably throwing I probably got it right here in front of me somewhere.
You know
Let's
they
see.
all finesse swim bait games pretty strong these days.
A little quarter-ounce ball head would be great. But if I'm throwing like a Kitech 3.8, shoot,
Yeah, man.
that 3-ounce Devon jig head right there, and this is really good for the Devon swim baits as well. The
So the
4.4.
first time I ever used that jig head, I was actually fishing with the lead designer for Shimano. His name's Trey Epic, and then a buddy of mine that was a sales rep. His name's Drew. Great dude. The video's on my channel. And we went out throwing rhythm waves on Lake X. And I didn't have any. I started with the bass tricks. And the Trey catches one, a jank, almost 8 pounds right off the bat. And Drew's like, man, I'll give you a rhythm wave. And I said, man, those are some sweet looking swimbait heads. He said, yeah, dude, they're these 6 cents heads. And they're the sharpest freaking hook ever. And dude, I used that all day. And I remember I was still working retail. I got a hold of Casey. He's like, dude, I need some of these heads. And I ordered them. And everyone I know, just they love them. It's not a light wire, but it's not a heavy wire. It's just perfect for throwing Kitex, rhythm waves, stuff like that. I don't prefer those big tuna hooks some people make at Swimbait heads. I like them a little thinner wire. I think you get better penetration. But that screw lock, man, that's the deal.
So yeah, the two things I was going to point out. Number one, the screw lock, money. It's one of my favorite features on anything Divine, you know, the swim jigs or the Swimbait heads. And then for my Rocky Lake, dude, this chin, that flat chin, when you want to drag it, you just want to slow roll it on the bottom and let it grind. Dude, that chin, you know, I'll get a football jig or a ball head jig. I'll get that snagged up in those rocks and gone in a minute. But that chin, for whatever reason, man, just comes to those rocks so well. Yeah, I love that Swimbait head right there.
And then maybe those little mini ones for like A-rigs too. And I've got some,
Yeah.
I don't know where the box is, that's got a little bitty 2/0 hook in it. And so if you want to do some real finesse, I think I got one right here actually. I usually just give it to Baitman Jr. He likes throwing the old finesse swim bait when we go fishing, but which, you know, some people are going to say, oh man, my paint chipped or whatnot. Yeah, these right here, you can see I had this one. It's got the little bitty, the small gap hook for throwing like real small Kitex and throwing small Divine swimmers, anything like that. Those little small hooks, man, they get them.
I'll tell you another one that I really like. You probably know the name of this one better than I would. I forget. I think it might be a Roshi.
The Mega Bass with the spin head on it? Yeah, that's...
Well, just that little dude right there.
Yes.
It's lost an eye. He lost an eye blob, but...
Yeah, so that's the Mega Bass head without the spinner. And then they got the Ashikawa head that's got the little offset.
That's it. Go Ashikawa. That's the one that is right there.
I can't pronounce half the words in the United States dictionary, but somehow I just hammered that word.
But that one right there, for like the small 2.8 Kitech, yeah, that one's really nice, and it's got that chin on it, you know, and that's why I like it. But yeah,
see, I like the Divine Swimbait heads that have the fluorocarbon weed guard in them, because if I see a brush pile, I'm gonna throw my stuff in there.
Yeah.
But if you got a lot of grass and stuff like that, it ain't gonna make it weedless. But I'm like, man, I'll throw my stuff on these ledges and stuff like that, around stumps, around brush, anything that can help. And I like that it's clear. But you know, for the most part, when you go out throwing these swim baits out there, you got to realize, man, you're gonna lose a few. They're gonna get hung up. But sure. I agree with you. The chin, it makes it, especially a gravel rock, it makes it really deflect off there without hanging it up. The rounds, sometimes they tend to just dig in there and you're done.
I don't know what, it's counterintuitive when you think about it, because you think that would wedge in there, but for whatever reason, man, and even when I'm fishing a jig on the bottom, man, a lot of the time I'll just drag a Divine swim jig.
Yeah.
And because of the weedlessness of it on my particular body of water, it may be different wherever you are, but for me, man, I'll hop a Divine swim jig all day long, dragging and bagging with that thing, and it covers all the bases for me. I also burn it and swim it, and you know, fish it.
I
move.
One thing I've noticed, the way you fish a swim jig's different than a lot of people. I mean, you got the guys from Alabama, they got that Alabama shake where they're always popping it. Got some guys that throw it out there and just slow reel it, kind of maybe a yo-yo. And you'll do, that's really your hybrid jig. You do about everything with the swim jig.
Yeah, it really is. And yeah, I use the hybrid jig a lot too. You know, if I'm fishing slower, you know, or deeper, softer bottom. But man, that that divine, I'll either swim that divine swim jig, or I'll just let it go down there to the bottom and drag it and hop it around. And I do really, really well with that thing. I actually just ordered a bunch of them in more green pumpkin style colors. My plan is to throw a stroker crawl on the back of that thing and really, really go to town on the bottom with that thing.
Yeah, I've become a pretty big fan of that hybrid jig. For me, it's been like my go-to shallow pitching flipping jig. I wish I
I
was
love
really
it.
good with a swim jig. I'll throw it. I'm not an expert, but man,
That's
I
where
got
my
a box
confidence.
full of them. Oh,
That's where my confidence lies.
we got a $5 make you holler. Appreciate it from Bayou Burner. He says, really enjoy y'all guys' contacts. When are the catwalks going to be back in stock next week? I don't know. Justin keeps selling them out every time they come in stock because it's like,
I ring the bell as soon as they hit. I ring the bell and they're on it. I tell people don't sleep, and they scoop them up. But whenever they come back, I'm gonna buy them all.
well, I know Casey. I talked to him on the phone last week. He said a lot of stuff's going to be coming here in the next 30 to 60 days. So I'll be honest. Even though it won't say on the 6 Cents website, look at Tackle Warehouse. Their back in stock
They got it.
indicators are pretty dang good. And from what I know, being a little bit in the industry and talking to the buyers, they try to keep that really up to date. We got a new subscriber up on the channel, but I didn't get to see it. Birch.
Welcome to
Birch is
the
hooked
Dome.
and subscribed. Thank you, Birch, for the sub. Make sure you guys smash the like button tonight. Share it out for your buddies. And go sub Justin Royal's channel if you haven't.
Check me out on the tube.
And
Yeah,
buy a t-shirt. You know, he's got the merch game going on. I need to get my merch game started back up. I may just have to, give his guy some business and be like, yo, dude, make me some cool stuff. We need some jaints and stuff like that. I've got a
I know
really
it.
good idea, man, and I'll show it to you on Instagram. I can't put it up here, but
Sure.
you never know
Yeah.
who's watching, man. Some of these, and we've talked about it.
Boy, there's some
There's
snakes in
some
the grass
snakes in the
backs. There's
bass
some
fishing
snakes in
world.
the grass, dude. Yeah.
We got some.
This fishing is cutthroat.
Yeah, dude. We got some questions here, and so I'm going to try to get these questions out to Justin. Lucas Hong, is the Tactical DD the best deep diving crankbait in the game? I'm going to say there is not a clear best. I'll say it right now. I'll say it all the time. As far as deep divers, 10XD that's the one. There's several really good players. I think the Tactical DD, you put it in the really good player list. Um, Obviously, the C20, C25 from 6 Cents, um, the Z-Boss, it's going to be in that kind of category. It's going to be in your top tier. If you go to grab a deep crankbait, Lucas, and you pull out a Tactical DD, you can feel confident you can catch fish on it.
So I just got my hands on them. I haven't had a chance to fish the Tactical DD yet, but at first glance, and I'm really digging this color, Ghost Minnow, and you would love it, Bax. It's got this little touch of lavender
You want me
on
to get
there,
mine
dude.
out? Because it looks just like that.
Oh, you already got it. That's what's up. Awesome.
Yeah, I hadn't had one because they're, Matt and Tim are obviously great
That's just gonna
fishermen, and when
destroy.
people see Matt and Tim catching giants on it, they buy it. So I hadn't had to get one. It reminds me of an old school Lucky Craft mixed with a mega bass in those river CIs. I
Okay.
haven't thrown it, but I can look at it and tell you it'll catch.
Yeah. And another one that does great for me in the winter, and it's not I don't know if you consider this a deep diver, but I know you'll like the color of this one. That C10 smoke,
Oh yeah,
man.
dude, I love the C10.
James Hughes C10, dude. I love fishing Main Lake points with this in the cold weather, and I crush them
I
on
love the
on
C10. The one thing I like about it, you get the C20, C25. Going to be honest, they pull hard, and you got to be
Yeah,
ready. You got to go work out the wrists. You got to be
they'll wear
ready to
you out.
grind. But to me, it doesn't bother me because I'm so used to throwing 6XDs and 8s and 10XDs. That's my jam. I love that deep cranking game. So they do pull hard, but I'm so used to it anyway.
Yeah,
But
and the
dude,
rod's so super important.
the C10, C15,
Yeah.
feel nice. Like I'm like,
Yeah,
man, it's a
it's
total
doable.
different dive.
Yeah, it's user friendly, but people, don't realize how important the rod is for when you're even mid depth to deep cranking.
Oh yeah,
A good rod is really gonna change the game. That's something it took me forever to realize. Like, no, you need a dedicated cranking setup. You can't be. I'm gonna use this for it anyway. I mean, you'll change the game once you get that good cranking rod.
yeah, and I feel that is also kind of the way for square bills and stuff. I had a question we got
Oh
earlier,
yeah.
and his name was Andrew, and he said the ESP rod, dude. I've used it. I think you've probably used it by now. Um, he wants to know as far as is it just locked down to bottom contact? Can you use some moving baits? The one I have, the 7.3 heavy, I'm probably going to limit it to bottom contact. But that 7.2 medium heavy, kind of moderate fast, can you get away with throwing some moving baits, maybe some chatter baits? I think it'd be a good swim jig rod. Um, other stuff on it.
I'll be honest with you. I've got the medium heavy rigged up right now, and I've been throwing Texas rig, uh, and I love it, dude. It is a smooth rod. It's light. It's lightweight. I love how light it is compared to my other
Dude,
setups,
it's
and
nasty.
it's sensitive. I've had some barely ticked it bites on that thing, and I knew it immediately. So, yeah, I haven't fished with the heavy yet. Kevin's going to have more experience with that than me, but the medium heavy, and like I said, I've only thrown a Texas rig, but I think you can definitely get away with throwing a swim jig or a chatterbait or just about any of that stuff that you mentioned on that medium heavy. It loads up nice, man. It loads up real nice, and I've enjoyed fishing with it.
Um, I've got a Sensory 7.2 that's like a medium heavy that's amazing spinning rod. But well, I started finesse jigs on it and like Texas rigs, and it's turned into like to the best spinnerbait rod I've got. And I
It's a
love it.
7.2 medium.
Yeah, it's actually a prototype. The hook hanger's on the wrong side. It's 7.2 medium heavy, moderate fast, or something like that. I don't even know if they put that on their website. And
That's
dude, it's,
not out there in the sensory, but that's my kind of rod
yeah,
right there. I'm
very versatile rod. Swim jig rod, spinner bait, throw a bladed jig on it. You could throw lipless on it. Dude, I like stuff like that where you can buy one rod. It's a really nice rod. Do multiple things on it.
Yeah,
That
yeah. Speaking of one like that, so the 7.4 I'm sorry, the 7.2 medium heavy. It's in the little cover here, but the 7.2 medium heavy moderate Lux series is a great little more affordable
yes,
rod for doing that same kind of thing. You can throw a chatterbait, throw a spinnerbait, throw a swim jig. You can do a lot with
I've
that
got
rod as
that
well.
rod, and I throw a bladed jig on
Yeah,
it quite a bit.
so hit up that Black Friday BF20, and you'll get that Lux rod for a steal of a deal right now. And you go out there and do a lot of stuff with that rod. I love the Lux series rods. I use them
Yeah,
all
they're
the
what
time.
like 120 bucks. They're light.
I
They
think
got a good grip
I think
on them. The EVA
they're
foam. Hate to sound like an
yeah.
infomercial, but I'm gonna be upgrading some of my gear. And I've got so many rods, and dude, I've been impressed enough with the six. I love my Daiwa rods. The technique specific stuff. I got a few specific techniques I want to keep some stuff around for, and that's okay. But I just
All out there over 6 inch rods,
I
dude.
know, bud, you're loaded down with the six.
I love the sensory series, dude.
The
I
only
mean, that's
problem
my
I think is people are like, well, my local dealers don't carry them. I don't know how to play with one or film with them. So now's a good time if you're like, man, I don't know about it. It's Black Friday till November 30th. Throw it down on a rod, and I think you'll be pretty impressed. Uh,
absolutely understandable. But man, I'll tell you this: I've never once had a 6 inch rod arrive damaged. I mean, if you could just see how many rod tubes I have in my garage right now, like one, two, three. I mean, I've got rod tubes just stacked in every corner around me right now. I've never had one
I
come
wish
damaged.
I had a
So
garage. I have a carport, and then I have a 10 by 10 bait room. Now, if I had a big garage, I promise you it'd be stacked just as full as this thing is. But
got a bait? No, dude, it's looking nice.
all right, man, we got some more questions. Baitman Justin, what rod would you
Oh,
throw on 10XD? Man, I used to use a G Loomis 959 DD. It was my favorite 10XD rod. However, I don't have it anymore. I sold it. Um, I wanted to try other things. Dobbins 806 glass is one I like for 10XD. I like a little bit softer cranking rod than most guys. Now, my buddy Jake Lawrence, he's been on the stream. Jake's a hammer. He says that he told me one of his guide clients had the Cloud 9 cranker, their big rod, and
That was
said, dude,
probably
it is
that's what
amazing for
I was gonna.
10XDs.
That was what I was gonna drop. I cranked that bait on the Cloud 9 cranker, and that rod is money for throwing those 10XDs or the C10 or anything like that. If you're gonna go up, also that 8-foot moderate action rod is great for the bigger cranks. But man, that Cloud 9 cranker, that's what I throw. That's what I throw them
I
on.
think when the 10XD and this big, huge deep diver craze first started, a lot of companies, I think they made their rods way too stiff. Like some of the stuff people throw Alabama rigs on now are 10XD rods. Like when the A rig first
Right.
came out, everyone was buying all those Halo 10XD rods, and I'm like, y'all throw a crankbait on this thing? There's like no bend in it whatsoever. But
I need that. I need that. I need that parabolic
yes,
goodness. Oh yeah.
and if you guys don't know what we mean by parabolic, the rod bends in the middle instead of at
Yeah.
the flex at the tip. The rod bends in the middle. What that does, it gives a little delay in the rod. So when that fish eats the crankbait, you feel the fish before he feels you. You don't have a tendency to pull the trebles away from him. And the same concept to me is like, why are guys using these big stiff rod? It's still crankbait. I still want them to eat that 10XD. Um, so I've always been a parabolic rod guy for moving baits, even spinner baits, man.
Yeah. No, for a spinnerbait for sure. That's a and chatterbaits. Yeah, I've really come to like them. I can't get. I did the glass for a while. And I can't do that. But there are folks out there like yourself that prefer that.
With that 806
I,
glass, it's such a long rod. It's not noodly. You know what I mean? It makes that rod more parabolic, and that's why I like
so
it.
I've got a Saint Croix. It's I can't remember. It's like a 711. It's long.
When the S
It's
glass,
the big crankster. It's
yeah.
glass. And I used it for a season, and then I just got away from it, man. For whatever reason, I just prefer a graphite rod for cranking. It's personal
It's
preference,
like
you know.
those glass rods are like IPA beers or whatever. It's an acquired taste. And
Okay.
me, I
Yeah,
don't
sure.
drink stuff like that. So, um, and there's nothing wrong, man. Nothing wrong with solid graphite stuff. It's a lot about user stuff. So, Big John's live. What's up, Big John? He says his local dealer sells 6 cents rods. That's awesome. Salvador, what's 6 cents doing for Black Friday? Salvador, it's live. Use the code BF20. Get 20% off anything on the 6 cents website. Here you go. Justin Cook, how does that Lux 7.2 medium heavy mod fast compare to a Dobbins 704? Um, I Justin, if you don't have a Dobbins
I've,
704, I can answer that question.
well, I've sold it when I got all my six rods, but I actually fished with a 704 CB for a long time. Now I'm going to say that's a little bit lighter. 704 is going to be a little bit on the lighter side from the 7.2 medium heavy moderate Lux series, or the Milliken, the MFR series 7.2, same thing, medium heavy moderate. It's comparable, but for small profile square bills, I almost give that 704 the edge. I really like that rod,
Dude,
but
Dobbins makes good stuff, man.
not knocking Dobbins at all. I caught my 9.8 PB on a Dobbins Sierra 734, and man, that was a good day. Y'all can check that video out on my channel if you want to see me catch a 9
That's
plus.
right. Make sure you guys follow. Hey, man, my guy here. I think let's see what his name is. I think his name is Chris. I want to give him a shout out for making this overlay. Which normally I could do it, and he's just like, dude, I know you work all the time. Uh, you also can edit. I want to help you out. His name, Jason, Chris Baker for the overlay. He's hooked up Justin's Instagram tag. Y'all don't need mine. I'm sure y'all follow him anyway. And if you don't, that's okay. If you're new to the stream, make sure you subscribe. So let's talk a little bit about YouTube. I'm
Do
going to
it.
try to answer some questions as we go. You've kind of blown up here in the last man, 6 months, man. Maybe longer than
Sure.
that. Time just goes too fast for me because these kids wear me out. But what can you pinpoint to one or two videos where all of a sudden you went, "Whoa, what's going on? I'm growing
No,
crazy."
no, not really. I can pinpoint to when I started incorporating a specific style of video into my channel that I really started getting. I went from getting the around the 1,000 mark views to multiples, even tens of thousands of views on a single video, and that was when I started doing, instead of just posting just on the water content, when I started just filming myself opening up these packs. Man, people like watching you
I
open
know,
stuff,
man.
man. I
Hey,
know.
we're talking about
But
it.
when
You
I
want to do an open it? We'll do an unboxing here in just a second. I just got some straight up heat in the mail.
yeah, I'd love to. But yeah, that's when I started incorporating the unboxing content. That was when, I don't know if it's the algorithm or if people just really like the thumbnails or if they just want to see people open stuff. Whatever it is, man. Once it became like Fishing Christmas over here on the channel, that was when I really started seeing some faster growth. And I took note. And I also have a lot of I don't do it if I'm not having fun doing it. But I have a lot of fun doing those types of videos. And to be honest, they're easier to edit.
Oh
When
yeah.
I'm out there on the boat, I'm running multiple cameras. I put my heart and soul into my videos, and if you guys happen to check out my channel, I believe you'll see that, especially when I'm out there on the water fishing. But when I'm here in the garage, I'm doing unboxings. I got the one good camera set up. It's high quality, and I'm just going through opening up the cool stuff, and people love that, man. So once I started incorporating that, that was when I really started seeing some faster growth. But I never really had one video that cracked off real hard. I've got my buying my first bass boat video. That's a really popular one, and there are a couple unboxing videos that really took off. And then I saved the baby deer from drowning in the lake, and the dodo picked that up. I don't know if you know what the dodo is, but they're like a feel good animal videos. Social media, they're on everything, Facebook and um, what's the other one? Snapchat. They're real big on Facebook and Snapchat. They picked up one of my videos, got with me, and was like, hey, can we do a story on this, you saving this baby deer? This dog had chased this baby deer out in the middle of the lake, and I launched the bass boat real quick, superhero style, and went out there and scooped that baby deer up, and it screamed,
That's
and it was
awesome.
all cute. And that when the dodo picked that up, it got millions of views. So that gave me a little push. And there were a lot of people on that video saying, hey, I saw you on the dodo. But that's quick to die off. That viral stuff, like we were
Yeah,
talking about
man.
earlier, man, it all comes down to hard work. You got to grind. And if you get a video that blows you up, like you were talking about Cole and Jay, they took notice and they realized, hey, we got to really start hammering now that we got some recognition. So that's what it takes, man. And I try to go with what works, but also whatever I'm having fun doing that also works, and that's how it's been going for me. And we just passed 16,000. So, buddy here watching, if you like fishing content, if you like unboxing stuff, bait breakdowns, and fishing content in general, I do appreciate you for taking the time to check me out,
So
man.
I want to talk about the unboxing thing.
Sure.
I do a lot of it. I do all mine live. Number one, tomorrow I'm going to go find a new light setup because you're straight up clowning on me with this good lighting you got going on. So I'm going to give a
Lighting is
pro
everything.
tip out here. If you want to make good content, good unboxings,
Lighting is
lighting
everything.
is everything. And I don't know why about my webcam. I've gotten like real pale tonight. Usually it's different, but the ring lights like I got right here behind my webcam, they're cool for a stream. But Justin come out here, he's straight up got the Hollywood lighting, no shadows going on, good skin tone.
It's a horrible camera.
But people pay
It's
attention to that stuff. I can do an unboxing on an iPhone, I, or let me take this. I watch them, and if they're on an iPhone or the quality, I click it off. You got good stuff
sure.
when you unbox the heat from the six that you know's got really good colors and stuff. You want to see that. Makes a big difference.
Yeah. Sure, yeah. Quality is a big deal on YouTube nowadays. Back in the day, it didn't matter. You could post a pixelated video of you, whatever, doing whatever stupid, and it would blow up and get thousands and thousands of views. But now, like you said, man, most people are like you. If they see something, it's not coming correct with the quality. Um, they're just gonna click off. So I try to make sure my videos are aesthetically pleasing to the best of my ability. And I'm no professional videographer by any means, and I still have a lot to learn, but I stay learning and I stay grinding and I stay trying to do better and better all the time. So yeah, for sure, man. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate
I got
that.
a couple good questions here. One, what's up, Baitman? Does Justin get asked if he's related to Murder Nova? That's the guy from Street Outlaws. We covered that at the
That,
beginning. So
that
people,
didn't take long.
yeah, it
That
didn't
didn't
take long.
take
I knew what
long.
happened. Hella Bass, who is my moderator on the channel, done an excellent job as always. Great fisherman is Rich.
The hell
He
of
wants
that.
to know, ask him if he's using a webcam or are you running the big camera through your computer.
No, that's what I said a minute ago. It's not even. This isn't even a DSLR. This is my. It's a MacBook Pro 15-inch laptop, built-in camera. Lighting is everything.
I gotta go get some lights tomorrow, buddy. I may just go jack a few off my buddy's bow fishing bow. We'll get about 4,000 watts of halogen in here.
That'll light
light
them
me
up
up.
right
Probably
there.
burn all these baits at one time. So.
Yeah, so diffused light. You know, it's important that the light be diffused. You know, brightness isn't everything, but having soft boxes. You know, I would show you guys the lighting setup, but I'd have to. I got my laptop all set up on the table
from
with
what I
baits all
know,
around.
it's great to have the ring light, but I need a light here, and I need something back here. And
Sure.
what you do with the ring light, it's really nice if you want to do like makeup tutorials and stuff that, and you know you want to do TikToks, okay. But for anytime you got any kind of background, one thing like you're sitting in front of that table. So this is a little video tutorial from the Baitman. You're creating depth of field behind you. Whereas me,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
almost sitting against my wall. There's not much depth of field here. I've pushed back, and we create that with the right lighting and the depth of field. You get a really nice, clean picture. So that would be some good advice if you want to start a YouTube channel and you want to go ahead and get ahead of people. If you can get your lighting down, you got it made.
Yes, sir.
Part of me,
That's a good tip.
I just don't give a crap sometimes. But if people always ask me why I don't put more content out. I'm very picky, and it's hurt me because I know that people want to watch stuff. They want to watch you go fishing off the bank or whatnot. And for the most part, as long as your video is pretty clean, your audio is decent, they like the content. But for me, if I want to do unboxing, I want to have perfect lighting and all this and stuff. And then I'll put it off and just don't do it. But
and I struggled with lighting for a long time, and I had a ring light, and I had a pillowcase over my ring light, and it finally I was like, enough of this, man. And I invested in some better lighting, and it's really stepped up my video quality. But yeah, we've hammered the lighting subject home. I think lighting is everything. Get it dialed in.
My buddy Luke, he says get some melodies. We'll put them in the next week. Matter of fact, I may do that this week. Luke's gonna come over here. We're gonna get this bait room reorganized, dude. It's a train wreck. Someone says go Vols. Man, I don't know about my Vols, man. I think they play tomorrow night while I'm supposed to stream. We'll see. I'm going to stream tomorrow night, probably after Tennessee plays, because it's always better when I'm really upset, because I tend to focus on the college football is crazy, man. You may not be a football fan, but
I've been a Cowboys fan my whole. I'm not anymore. I don't do anything but fishing and make fishing videos. But I grew up a Cowboys fan. I've been a lifelong Cowboys fan. If I had to pick a team, that would be my team. So I know all about heartache.
Yeah, Tacklecraft makes a good point. My man TK, one of the best painters in the game, dude. Bad sound turns me off more than video. I agree, and I'm not the best at audio, but I've really worked on it, especially since you're doing stuff for TV with Mr. Menendez. Nothing worse than having a video on 20 volume than getting a spike that's 100 and waking up the house. You don't know how many times, man, I've been watching YouTube late at night, like 11:30, 12. Everybody's in bed, and the guy's talking. All of a sudden, it blows me back.
Yeah, man, that's horrible. So when I'm editing, I'm constantly paying attention to my decibel levels. And something else that another tip, if you're out there trying to create content, you need an external microphone. Don't be using the built-in microphone on your camera for the most part, unless you're talking about a GoPro. That's a separate subject. I'm talking about like a DSLR camera, and then manually set your audio level on the side of the camera. That's something that I do, and I'm constantly paying attention to my decibels during the editing process. And even I sometimes will, find a spot in the video where I've either moved in a little bit closer to the microphone and maybe talked a little bit too loud or gotten too far away. And I'll have to adjust that to keep it from clipping or raise the levels so that you can hear me. And that's something that I really try to pay attention to and make sure, because as TK said, there is nothing worse than some bad audio on video.
All right, I'm just gonna tell you, dude. Everyone loves the beard. How long have you just straight up be with it, how long have you been growing the beard? I had one pretty long at one time. I got mine down to about right here, and then
Straight up,
my work's like, man, if it's over 4 inches or whatnot, you have to not roll it up in a rubber band. I didn't want to do that.
straight up, I'd shave it off every night before I go to bed, and I wake up and it looks like this.
Dang, that's
No,
impressive.
no, for real. Straight up, I just plug my ears and blow. And then, no, uh, it's been about probably 3 years, going on 3 years now. Just trimming it. You know, my wife will go at it with the scissors and take some split ends off every once in a while, but for the most part, I just trim it, and it's been probably 2 or 3 years now at least. Not cutting the beard. Not once. I have nightmares about me. I'll wake up and tell my wife I had a nightmare last night. I shaved my goatee off, and it'll freak me out, dude. So,
Uh, so when I had my first kid, Brooks, you can probably find the photo there on my personal Facebook. Dude, I was like Duck Dynasty. It wasn't as long as yours, but it was. I didn't shave the neck. It was pretty rough.
sure.
And then there's a photo where my wife cut my hair and shaved. I trimmed my beard. My bangs were like down to here. You know, it was almost. I look like the crow with the receding hairline there. That's the best way I can describe it. It was pretty rough.
Eric
Um,
Drake, shout out
yeah,
to the
great movie, man. This is a cult
great movie.
classic.
Love that flick. I'm a movie buff, dude.
Oh
80s.
man, now we're getting the good stuff. Dude, I watch
Yeah,
a lot of movies. I try to.
yeah. I mean, I watch a lot of movies up to about 2005. If it came out recently, I got no
Yeah, there's a
interest.
lot.
But
Yeah, I like the old school stuff, man.
the old stuff that we grew up on, yeah, man. You'll hear me quoting that in all my videos all the
Uh,
time. I'm constantly quoting some dumb movie. What we got?
let's see. Austin Hicks says, "What are guys doing when they're clicking their GoPro every time they get to a stopping point?" Well, for me, I run my GoPro on looping. I run in 5 minute loops. It's a way you can set it up. It doesn't eat your battery all day, but more importantly, it allows you to store a lot of stuff. Because if you just push record and you fish for 40 minutes and don't get a bite, and then you stop it, you've got a 40-minute clip. I can set it on looping and press record, and if I'm fishing, go 5 minutes, don't catch anything, and all of a sudden, boom, I catch a bass. I hit that button. It captures the last 5 minutes of video in 1 minute segments. So when I pull it into editing, what I do is I look at the file size, and when it goes to like, you know, 1100, all since it's 200, I look at the file size. I know where it switched to start a new clip. I'm like, yeah, I press the button. I got a fish catch in there.
So I'm a lot of people do it that way. Looping mode is a popular way of making fishing videos, but I am in the minority, and I'm a battery changer. I have a bunch
Right.
of GoPro batteries in, and I'm in that camp that, man, I not only do I fish every day until the apocalypse, but I record everything, dude. I record everything, and
There's benefits of both too.
because like you said, I'm telling a story while I'm out there, and I do a lot of yakking, and I tell a lot of jokes, and I try to keep it fun and lighthearted. And a lot of times when I'm not catching fish, I'm running my mouth, and people like to hear that stuff. They like to see that stuff, and a lot of times something funny will happen. I just record everything. I've also been making videos my whole life, and been in the habit of just recording everything my whole life. So during the editing process, I generally have a good 5 hours of footage to scrub through, but I've gotten really good at watching waveforms, audio waveforms,
Mm-hmm.
and when that waveform is quiet, I know that there's nothing going on. That's
Right.
just me dragging it. So I'll skip. I've gotten pretty good at knowing where the action is by looking at the audio. But what Kevin mentioned and running your GoPro on looping, especially if you're just now getting into it, is a very good way to cut back on
Right.
the time that you'll spend editing videos. But yeah, I'm a scrubber, and I capture
Yeah,
everything
and to
that I
be
can.
honest, really, it's more of a file size thing for me. There's a lot of times I wish I was straight running. Like now, when I'm filming, uh, commercial stuff or following whoever pro on the lake, I'm gonna run that camera all day as much as I can. Now there gets to the point where if you've been 3 hours, and they ain't touched a spinnerbait and they keep throwing it, I'm not gonna record it the whole time. I'll put some
Right.
cool montage to get that hook set in there, um, but you're right. When you're scrubbing footage, uh, it's just so much easier if you know what you're looking for. Too, I have a really good memory on the water. As I'm fishing, I'm thinking how I'm going to put this video together. How's this going to go?
Absolutely.
And so once I pull it in, I'm like, okay, there's that clip I need. There's that clip. There's that fish catch, and kind of how I used to do it. And I go straight to the fish catches. And I throw them on a timeline. Like, here's the
Yeah.
first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and
Yeah, I
then
edit a lot off memory as well.
and
Yeah.
then I'll build up the stuff that happened before the first one, then transition, and then boom, there you go.
We're gonna
Man,
run everybody off
just
talking about
throwing up the
video.
secrets to the video editing world here. All right, we'll
We're
get
going
back to talking here.
video nerd.
Had someone say they ordered a Milliken series rod for Black Friday. That's awesome. All right,
Awesome.
Sean Lai, he's a great guy. It's Sean. He says, I know you
What's
don't
up,
like
Sean?
this subject, but have you seen the new Guggen clickbait? It's kind of a hybrid shutterbait kind of thing. So I don't like to degrade anybody's anything on here. I have seen the Guggen clickbait. The only thing I'll say, just didn't have a lot of action for me. It doesn't look real fluid in the water. Does that mean it's a bad bait? No. Does that mean because it's Guggen Squad it's trash? No. Doesn't look like my thing.
I'll just be honest. I haven't even seen it. I don't really pay much attention to that squad. So that's my honest answer. I haven't even seen it. I didn't even know. I wouldn't know if you didn't tell me.
And you know what? I all I've really seen is just a little clip. I have no reason to.
Sure.
I really don't get on their channel much to look for anything. And man, those guys. But with respect, they kind of paved the way for a lot of people to do what they're doing. You know.
Absolutely.
And they did. They were the original hustlers and grinders, man. They were out there pushing that content out every day, every other
Sure.
day.
Yep.
Now they can be a
Can't
little
deny
bit
that.
more selective and get 500,000 views. That doesn't mean we have to watch it, but you know what? Everybody, and this goes with everything, man. Whether it's fishing or football or basketball, ultimate fighting. I'm a big fan of the UFC. I know you are.
Yes, sir.
Every
That's why I wasn't. That's why I wasn't on last
every
Saturday.
top dog gets knocked down.
Yeah. I'll just say this, man. When it comes to that whole thing, when it comes to the green and black, man, I'm real big on honesty, integrity, and living my life as such. And I'll just leave it at that. Some people aren't. Some people do whatever it takes.
I
And
think some things are fixing to come out. It's going to be different. That's all I'm saying. I don't know a whole lot, but behind the scenes, there's some crazy stuff going. But all right, this is a good question. When it rains, do you run the refuel 6-hour batteries on the GoPro or use the putty around the cord connection?
I don't know. I don't jack with any putties or cords. I run GoPro Hero 8s, and they're waterproof, dude.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless it's dumping rain and you're opening the battery compartment and holding it out, trying to get a drink out of it, I mean, you're gonna be fine. You just change your battery and close that door back.
Yeah.
I've never had to do it.
I've got all Hero 3s and 4s. And that's the only problem. They're not really.
That's what I ran for the longest time. And since we're on the topic, I actually have a video on my channel. It's called How I Make Fishing or How to Make Fishing Videos. And I really go in depth into exactly what I do on the water with my cameras during the editing process. So if you guys want to check that out, you can probably pick up a thing or two. And it's practically still applies. Nothing's changed much except for the cameras. I just run, in that video, I was running the Hero 4 Silver, and now I'm on the Hero 8s. But yeah, man. No problem with the rain. And I love fishing in the rain, dude. You can only get so wet.
Let's see. All right. JCB hates blank. JC, he's the one that designed our little overlay. Thanks, JC. What are 5/6 baits that each of you would grab during the Black Friday sale?
Didn't we kind of do that? But I can do it again.
Yeah. You know what? I'll roll my 5. If I'm gonna grab 5 baits on the 6 Cents website, Flat 75X, one of my favorite. I'm going to get it in jank juice. I might be a little partial to that, or shad scales. Get you some red crankbaits. Find you some red 100X or 50X square bills, because you're the Chester Cheeto, baby, is famous.
I'm gonna let you go. I'm just gonna let you go because then I got mine and I'm ready with mine.
The 50X And then let's see, there's so much good stuff. The problem is there's a lot of stuff that's kind of out of stock. Get you some swim jigs. You can't go wrong on that. They just dropped a new color, Divine Shaky Worm. It's blood apple. So if you guys like
Ooh, that blood.
if y'all guys like the plum apple, that's kind of close to it.
That blood apple looking. Whew.
And then me, I'm gonna load up on the Stroker Crawl. That is my favorite plastic they make. It's so versatile. You can run the Stroker Crawl on a jig, a hybrid jig, a swim jig. You can flip it, you can pitch it, you can put it on a wobble head, you can Carolina rig it, Texas rig it, Stroker Crawl, baby. That would be my 5. But whatever you do, you gotta make sure you get some kind of jank juice in there. And dude, we got the C10 and C15 in jank juice, but it is available in the old school Crush. The Crush 500 come out, so if you guys like the Crush 500, it's available in that.
Awesome. A couple of my answers would be the same, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to tell you what I would get right now. First of all, the Divine Swim Jig. We're going to agree there. That's a must-have, the Divine Swim Jig. And I was going to say the Stroker Crawl as well, but I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to go with that Prawn 4.2, especially if you like flipping. That prawn is deadly, and on a Texas rig as well. Just dragging it on the bottom, that'll smoke that thing. Right now in the fall time, that Curve Finesse Square Bill is killing it for me.
I got one there. I'll tell you what.
Dude,
this color right here. And I'm not a.
They're key to bad boy, and they are. I've been hammering them on that bait here the past few weeks. And then my favorite square bill to throw, which I've caught some straight dinosaurs on this thing, is the Crush 50X, and that is one of my favorite colors. That's the Chester Cheeto Radiation Craw, which is currently sold out, but I got to throw it out there.
That's a pretty old school color, too. That's been around the 6
cents. Hit up your Walmarts, because Walmart has this color. And, dude, that Radiation Craw, don't sleep on an orange craw in the fall time. I'm telling you guys, people think of it as a springtime bait, but, man, when the weather starts getting cold, I start throwing a red square bill crankbait, and they just unleash the fury. How many is that? Is that 4? So I got one more? All right. We already talked about the catwalk, the top water earlier, so I'm going to switch it up a little bit. It's getting cooler. Don't sleep on that speed wake, man. That speed wake.
Man, if they're in stock, you got to grab a speed wake.
That's such a fun bait. It's such a fun bait to fish. I'm not sure if they're in stock. That's a good point. But when they do come back in stock, we just said we were going to pick the if any 5 we could get. So those are the 5, man. That speed wake is so much fun to chunk and wind that thing. And when they hit it, man, it's just a different kind of bite. It's not quite a top water, but it's a top water. And, man, I fell in love with throwing the wake baits once I got my hand on that speed wake. And I fell down a rabbit hole, dude. I love wake bait now. And that Spanish bone speed wake, I got one right here.
Tackle Warehouse, Cole and Jay. Cole says Tackle Warehouse has a speed wake. Their Black Friday sales start Wednesday night, which I'm hoping to have Epic Eric on here possibly tomorrow and Wednesday night. Me and Epic Eric are going Black Friday shopping on TW.
That dude knows his baits, but yeah, there's that Spanish. There's my go-to color, that Spanish bone.
I like
this. Love that Spanish bone.
They sent me my prototype was like white. It wasn't bone; it was white, like our table behind us. And dude, it catches. It's just a white, nasty white, and it works.
That Spanish pearl is almost white, but it's just got that little bit.
Let's see, Justin, do you have a coleslaw on your boat when videoing? What do you mean? Do you have anybody else that videos with you, or you're one-man show?
One-man band, one-man army, all me, all day.
There's a little bit more
solo.
Hey man, if you can have a camera guy, dude, it's awesome. But there's times camera guys are a hindrance. You know what I mean? Because when you want to run and gun, man, you want to pack up, you want to go fish here, you got. Man, I got to put the camera away. I got to do this. Oh, if it's raining, I got to put my camera up and all that. And if you're by yourself, one man GoPro in it, it's a whole lot easier.
Yeah, cameraman.
We did have some, so they grabbed them an ESP rod on the 6 Sense website. Awesome.
Yes.
And then someone said the whole website's going to be shut down after this live stream.
Yes, good deal.
Anytime, one thing Justin does do, it's really cool when you order from 6 Sense and you use his code, which is JR10. As he says, JR10 for the win. Tag him. He shares it on Instagram or whatnot. That's kind of one thing I thought he done. I've seen other people do, but he's really good about it. I used to do it too. Always feel free to tag me and Justin or whatnot. I don't really care if you use his code or my code or whatnot, man. We just like sharing the love, and we like seeing happy, satisfied people, man.
And right now, you got to use that. You can't use either one of our codes because you got to hit that 20 off
Yeah,
of that
don't use
BF.
the Baitman code. I'm telling you, ignore it for like a week.
Keeping it real with y'all. Get that 20 piece McNugget.
That's right. All right, John Welsh. Do y'all think most viewers follow YouTubers' channels for content and quality? I think it's a blend of both. If you can get good content and good quality, you'll get a lot of folks. Tactical bass, and man, they're
You throw in a little bit of throwing in a little bit of personality helps, but man, you drop tactical bassing, man. That's if I had to pick one fishing YouTube channel to watch, I'm watching those boys right there. You will learn a lot by watching that channel, and I certainly have. And they keep it fun and interesting and entertaining because they're both, like I said, their own unique personalities. And shout outs to Matt and Tim for what they do. Those dudes kill it, and they're grinders. They constantly find ways to put out new informative videos, and even though they'll circle back and do the same topic, it's always new, always fresh.
It's like, hey, they'll put out a finesse fishing video every fall. I get it, but guess what? I watch them because you know what? They're like me. They're finding new baits, new techniques, new equipment. Hey, we found out this line's better. I thought it was great. Matt did a video. It's an hour and a half long video about Swimbaits, and he straight up, as long as I know Matt, he's been a Maxima monofilament guy. That's his later materials, Maxima line. All of a sudden, he busts out this new, I believe it's Sunline. It's a fluorocarbon leader. I'm like, what are you using that for? And he goes on to say that he's learned some things through trial and error. And dude, they're not going to come at you with live, in your face vlogs and a bunch of clickbait stuff, but you're going to learn.
It's bass fishing educational content, but it is awesome, man. But while we're on the topic of fishing line, you reminded me of something because I got a couple things set off over here to the side. I know you're a big Sunline Assassin guy.
I got it all back here. I love my Sunline Assassin.
And that's my go-to. The 15-pound Assassin FC has been my go-to. But here recently, I branched out a little bit, and I snagged some of that 12 purple.
You like the Crank FC?
Well, I've only had a chance to fish with it for a couple times, but man, is it smooth. It's just a really smooth. Hang on, I got a truck driving by. Sorry about that. It's just a really smooth casting line. And I also started fishing some Texas rigs and some other stuff on the FC Sniper. And I got to say, man, Sunline just makes a dang good fishing line.
They're fluoro over there by your house, man.
I got a few of them that live around here, and they're always just whistling and just whistling on by.
What they do is they squat them trucks. You know what I'm talking about? Them truck squatters. They get the back end.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm not into
that. I'm not into that at all.
These are some good old boys just spooling and tooling.
Dude, I'd love to have a diesel, man, but my truck's paid off. You know how nice it is? Or how many more baits I can buy a month when I ain't gonna make a truck payment? It's like 15 years old, but I don't care.
When something's paid off, it's just nice, man. When you own it outright, that's just nice.
But yeah, man, I really like FC Sniper. It's good line for bottom contact, worms, jigs. It's a little bit more sensitive, less stretch. Yeah. But man, for the money, it's hard to beat Assassin. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I use on 90% of my setups are spooled up with either 12 or 15-pound Sunline Assassin.
Dude, we got to see what's in this box real quick.
Crack it open. I got a box I could open too, but I'm saving it for my own unboxing video.
Yeah. I will also tell you this. I've opened it up. This is a different box. I have maybe the most epic box of OG baits I've had in a long time. And I actually said, you know what? I think I'm actually going to do an unboxing. It may not have as good as lighting as yours, but I'm going to work my butt off. And I'll have to use a combination of the webcam and my old school Canon 70D.
You got this.
See what we got up in here. Oh, man. Got some jerks in here. Woo.
I suck at
got
fishing,
some
dude.
mega bass smoke in here. This
Ooh.
is a new special run color. It's called GLXS Spring Reaction. This is the 110 plus one, and let's get this one out here.
That plus one. That's a newer one that came out with, right? A couple years ago, maybe.
Yeah, this is the plus one. It's the deeper diver, not the deepest. The plus two is that one that supposedly dives 12, 14 foot. Not a fan of that one. But man, this mega bass 6 cents. You want to talk about
Ooh.
the best paint jobs? They're out there. I'll show this to the viewers at home. Got a little. It's very transparent. Kind of a clear milky white, but it's got a chrome head on it. A chrome and blue head. Like that one. That's the 110 plus. This is the first plus one I've got, but a buddy of mine is always selling these, and he gets them good JDM colors. I'm like, yeah, I can find the go-to Table Rock and Pro Blue, but here's another new one. This one's got some heat to it. It reminds me of a 6 cents color, almost close to that. This is the one that's smallmouth rose. It's very similar, but
Oh yeah.
this is
Those.
called GLX Natural Shad. Man, this webcam's kind of.
Oh man, that's a killer,
light
dude.
pink, almost. Man, it's.
No, the six has another color that's even more so like that. I think
This is almost like a. It's kind of like Violet Panda, but it's transparent. See if you
that's
guys can
fire.
see this right here. Oh yeah, it's a little better on the webcam. Got a little pink head, very clear. I know some guys swear by a bone jerkbait. Okay, French Pearl OB stuff like that, and Mega Bass is super popular. If I want white, I want a clearish white with a little bit of a flash on it. But dude, this is a sweet color. I might have to put this up on a gram tomorrow. I ain't scared to put anything on the
Oh man,
gram, but
that's one area that you just crush it. You totally excel at your bait photos,
hey,
dude. Like
I big
killer,
secret right here,
killer.
guys. Almost 90% of my photos on Instagram, dude. That shit. Is that? Yeah.
That's the 110 in the what's it? Sexy French
Dude,
Pearl.
that's what I caught that giant with Matt Allen on.
Nice. It's got that. Let's see, that. That's kind of almost in certain light, it's purple on the back, dude.
I didn't get these from someone said Hookup Tackle. I bet if you checked Hookup Tackle, they'll have these in. But I actually got these from an individual. His name's Mark, the same guy that sent me the dial with peanut crankbaits. He's a great dude.
I actually had a friend on my channel send this in. His name's Brian. Shout outs to Brian sending me the Mega Bass. That was awesome, man. I was like, whoa, that's not a cheap one. So that was cool.
Dan the man, I actually reached out to Ben at Hookup Tackle the other day, and I said, love to have a JDM stream only live from the Hookup Tackle. I hadn't got a response, so the way I said, go flood Hookup Tackle and say, yo, we want you to do a live stream with the Baitman, because, dude, it'd be crazy.
Let him know.
Pre-holidays from the Hookup Tackle with the Baitman and Ben, and y'all can get educated on some JDM stuff, dude. I love Hookup Tackle, man. They're good people. So, all right, let's see. I've been smoking the sea trout on the Provoke Table Rock Pro. That's lit. I know you got that one.
Yeah. I think, I've got that one around here somewhere. That's
Lucas
money.
wants to know if your beard ever gets in the way of your chest GoPro.
No, it's not that long. But it does hit me in the eyes sometimes when I'm running full tilt boogie in a bass boat. It'll blow up every once in a while and get my eye, and I hate that, dude. Not all the time, but.
Do you follow professional bass fishing much? I've been to ask you that. Are you a fan of the MLF, the Bassmaster, or any of that?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't. Not nearly as religiously as some of you cats. I couldn't name you, but probably 5 to 10 guys between. I couldn't even tell you which one they're in, but I'll throw that on and watch it, and and really enjoy it. There's you know, the two different formats that when I started getting back into this really heavily, that was new to me, something I had to learn about, and there's probably still a lot to learn in that regard for me. But man, I grew up watching, you know, Bassmasters Classic, and all the old school fishing vloggers, you know, back in the day. I grew up on all that stuff. So yeah, watching people fish is a lot of fun.
I'm going to do a little talking on the pro bass fishing right now.
Drop it.
Someone mentioned Ike Alley's not with MLF, and I think they. I kind of knew that was very possible, real situation months ago, but I'm going to be really honest. The tournament fishing, I love. You know, all those guys I looked up to. Still got friends that are my age or younger fishing it. I wish them the best of luck, but I think the tournament organizations really need to realize, not just Bass, MLF, but Bass and all, and tournament fans, very small percentage of the fishing industry, even bass fishing.
Yes, especially now. Yeah.
I mean, look, I hate to say it, and those are the people that hate the Guggen Squad, and they hate YouTubers, and they make snappy comments on social media. One, I'm pretty sure, is a little hate at me, that it basically said, I don't even, you know what, man, I'm going to take the Justin rule. I'm not going to address my haters because that just gives them more fuel. But what's happened is the audience, not everybody that walks into a tackle store now cares about Kevin Van Dam or Mike Iaconelli or cares about the drama of Major League Fishing or Bassmaster.
Yep.
They come in there because they see guys like Justin Rohr or Ben Milliken or the guys on the Guggen Squad or Tactical Bass and just out there fishing and having fun and catching fish. And that's what they want to go do. They're not worried about some dude in a bowling jersey out here trying to, sell you a crankbait that, he obviously didn't catch his fish on.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's me. I don't really have much of a competitive side to my fishing. I'm one of those crazy people who still just fishes for fun.
Yeah, and that's me, man. And you know what? I make a lot of content about baits and fishing, and just because I don't go fishing every day doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. And
now you obviously have a serious passion.
And I also say that too for other people, man. Just there's nothing wrong with people do camera unboxings and iPhone unboxings. You can be an expert in the technology and everything. That doesn't mean you have to do it 24/7. I've caught enough fish here on Kentucky Lake and around and for my whole life. I don't have nothing to prove, but hey, I tell people I'm not a pro fisherman. I'm just a dude that loves the baits and likes to go catch fish when I can. So
you do not get to where you are and know as much as you know and learn as much as you learn without having a serious passion for it, dude. And that's just that's undeniable.
I'm not gonna lie, tackle buying is a problem.
Yeah, you're a tackle junkie, but that's cool, man. There are the worst kinds of junkies out there. And yeah, man, you don't get to the level of knowledge that you've acquired by not loving it, dude. So that's just everybody's got their opinion, and yeah, that's everybody goes about things in their own way, in a different way.
Yeah, man, it's dude, I have short views and opinions on about everything, and I've had to bite my tongue a few times. So I don't know where Ike is going. I mean, the NFL PL's out there. They're looking for someone to be in studio host with Luke Duncan. It's on their Facebook page. So go to the NFLPL if you think maybe Baitman and Luke Duncan, two Vols, need to host that show. I'd love to roll up there with Team 6 member Luke Duncan on some professional fishing. I may last one show because of my potty mouth, but at least it'd be fun. But the NFPL put that on their page, or Luke Duncan did. So if you want the Baitman to join him, go comment on there. So, all right, Bass Fishing Fools. That's incorrect. I buy stuff because of pros that win with real world baits, not a bunch of YouTubers. Well, that's an interesting comment because I separate tournament fishing and YouTube fishing. They're two different things. I buy a lot of different tackle. Some stuff I'm buying it for tournament fishing. Some stuff I'm buying it just to have fun and fish. Um, and the reality is, some of these YouTube guys can fish pretty well.
Yeah, and a lot, and the whole thing. This thought actually hit me while I was on the water the other day. That whole thing about, well, he won a turn. I hear, I've heard that said many times. Well, he won a tournament out there on this lake using this. Things just went right for that cat on
That's
that
right.
day. It's not always all the bait. Things just went right. I mean, yeah, the bait has a lot to do with it, but things just went right on that day for that cat, for him to win that tournament on that specific bait. And that doesn't mean, I always say, just because you know where I'm at doesn't mean you're going to come catch them. And just because you know what bait I'm using doesn't mean you're going to go catch them.
It's really hard to catch another man's fish.
A lot has to go right for you and for your bait. You got to be and I'll just leave it at that, man. Just because some big name won a tournament on using that bait, I understand. Hey, I want to go snag that and see if I can go whack them with it. That's cool, but when you see somebody that's grinding to make a video about fishing, and they're not in it for tournament winnings, they're just in it to show you them catching fish. That's another side of realness that you have to take into consideration, and I believe there's value in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
of course, Hella Bass says, what about tourney guys that YouTube? All right, I'm gonna be honest. Guys like Brian Latimer, I'll even say Scott Martin, for them to incorporate all that video stuff and doing their YouTube in with being a top tier and professional level, that's awesome. I mean,
awesome,
dude, it's tough.
Awesome.
And
that's what I was
most
going to say.
Professionals
awesome.
don't want to show you the days they don't catch them, and I'm cool with them doing that. Regardless of your personal thoughts on the pros or whatnot, it's tough. And once you get a big following, you got to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And if you have a stretch where you're not catching fish, in the back of your mind, you're like, man, should I quit filming my practices or this and that? But I respect it. The fishing industry has put it out there that there's magic baits, and every time a guy wins, he had the magic bait. And to be honest with you, that's probably about 15% of. In reality, he had the magic spot. He was making the magic cast. He
had that mojo.
He had that mojo, the Wojo, Matt Robertson, whatever, man. That's the main goal. Yes, people get help and stuff like that, but that's going to be my tourney rant for tonight. Me and Eric maybe talk about that tomorrow night a little bit more. So,
I don't know what I'm talking about, man. Don't listen to me. I'm just some joker. Likes to catch bass.
Let's see. 99% of YouTubers will not make money on the elites. That's a fact. Well, I mean, you got to qualify for the elites. Hey, I'm not going to argue with you, buddy. There's no way I could qualify for the elites. Hell, I'm not even sure I could qualify for the regional BFL, to be honest with you.
I'm not a very competitive person. I don't really like comparing myself to other people. I just do what I do. I worry about myself.
I always feel too. I think, you're gonna get both views here. I know we got way off sidetrack, but that comment really kind of bothers me. Like, you're not allowed to be a professional fisherman if you don't fish the elite series. Well, maybe I look at it and say, I don't think you're a professional fisherman if all you do is fish derbies against the same guys every year. You know what I mean? Where's this guy? Just because you can fish a tournament, can you go out and go catch a DD at Clear Lake like Matt and Tim? Go catch 200 of them. You know what I mean? So,
I always say I'm not in competition with anyone but myself.
Dude,
that's just my mentality. Everybody's different. Some people love that competitive grind, and that's cool too. I got nothing against it. I can only tell you what I feel and what I think.
If a pro kills it like on a specific bait, does that make it specific bait? Does that make it a guarantee style lure? I don't know if I understand that, but does it? Come back to me with that question, Brittany.
I'm gonna go get a refill on my tea. I'm gonna let you guys.
We've been on for an hour and a half.
Right back. Look at. Have we really? Do we need to get off? Have we really been on here for an hour and a half?
Yeah, actually.
That's wild.
We'll keep taking a few. Go get you some tea.
Okay, yeah, but if we need to go, just let me know.
Man.
Check out the tackle
This
wall.
will be the last time
you can see more of this on my channel. I'm gonna go get some tea.
All right. Well, Baitman's or I just called Justin Baitman. Indie Yak Angler is awesome. So see if you guys agree with me. Should we judge all fishermen by if they're not great fishermen if they don't fish the Bass Elite Series? I think that's some of the silliest stuff I've ever heard. Actually, a bunch of YouTube guys can compete on the big stage, but it takes a lot of time and money to compete. Fact is, there are a lot of pros that compete at family money. I will agree. And I don't care what anybody says. I've had some great conversations with really great fishermen. You got to have some kind of financial support if you're going to fish, whether it's the Elite Series, FLW Tour, or Major League Fishing. I've done the math and can tell you that most, I would say 60 to 70% of Elite Series anglers or FLW pros, their salary is less than $12 an hour. And I've done the math. I've added up tournament winnings and everything. Can you live and feed a family of 3 on $12 an hour? Because that's what.
I need more than 12. I'm gonna need more than 12. I can't make it on that.
I think there's a lot of. Someone says, how many guides are better than tourney anglers? I think there's a lot of guides out there that are excellent fishermen, and there's guys like my buddy Brent Anderson. He's a full-time guide, qualified for the All-American 5 times. You don't qualify for the All-American by just being a good guide. You're an excellent fisherman.
Can't fake that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Billy Noah says, I guarantee Jake Lawrence could compete if he had the backing. Do you give Jake Lawrence 50 grand? He's probably going to finish in the top 10. I would say right now, Jake Lawrence could finish in the top 10 Elite Series points. If Kyle Welcher can do it, I promise you Jake can. Kyle's a great fisherman, so.
I just want to say one more time that I can't believe we've been on here for an hour and a half.
It goes crazy.
Thank you. I want to take this opportunity before I forget to just thank you for having me on here, dude. It really does mean a lot. I appreciate you all. Shout outs to everybody that's watching the live stream.
Make sure you go to Justin's website, theheaterzone.com. The best thing you can do for a content creator, because I really feel that's when people say, "Are you a 6 Cents Pro?" I said, "No, I'm a content creator on YouTube." Because that's really what we do. We try to create content, funny, entertaining, educational. So that's my separation from YouTubers and pro bass fishermen. I love the guys that are doing it on pros. YouTubers are content creators. You guys are trying to gamble. You're professional gamblers.
Straight up.
I hate to say it. Straight up gamblers. But we like it if you enjoy the competition. Right down the middle. Content creation versus tournament fishing. 2 separate things. And, you know, some people say, well, the YouTube guys couldn't compete with the bass guys. Well, you know what I got to say? Hey, Gerald Swindle, go open up Adobe Premiere and you edit me a 30-minute YouTube video. Now we got an even playing field, right? So, shout out to Gerald. He's a great dude. I love him. He knows how hard I've worked and what I've done, but that's how I do it. That may be an interesting topic video. I just need to throw out there, you know.
But yeah, no, shout out to everybody watching the live, and if anybody happens to take the time to check out my channel, much appreciated. Much love to everybody.
Oh, and then you can get that fish every.
There
it is. Decal on the laptop. My 6 Cents decal is going away, but
I love it.
Any other questions for me and Justin? We've been on an hour and a half. I'm late. I'm gonna have to go get some food. I'm thirsty. The wife and
this has been fun. We should do it again.
You know, if you guys want Justin to join in, maybe we won't be so sporadic next time. We'll pick a topic. We got Texas wintertime fishing.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm down, but I'm deep cranking all winter, so get ready to talk deep cranking because that's what I'm doing.
I love me some deep cranking in the winter.
Maybe
even get Cap and Ron in here for.
I would. Oh, that would be fun, dude. To get Ronnie here with us. But yeah, everybody click the thumbs up button on the video. Show the Baitman some love, and thank y'all for having me, man. It means a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a thumbnail made this evening. Dude, you are the real deal. I appreciate you hanging with me when I get on these crazy rants. But
that's all.
Everything goes well. You know, I work for the man. It sucks, but I'm hoping in February we can go to Texas. We can do some fishing for some janks. And we can catch a few, create some awesome content. Maybe they can springboard me to get out banging on some windows.
See us on camera together.
Dude. You know, I'm not huge of like, I'm kind of like you. I don't want to go fish with everybody, and that doesn't mean anything bad. But
Sure. No, nothing against anybody, but catch me on a
I'm not
boat
a guy that want,
solo,
I'm
bro.
not a guy that wants to hang on people's coattails for followers and stuff like that. If I want to go fishing with you, it's because I think you're cool and want to go fishing with you. It's not because I want to be
Exactly.
like, yo, dude, I can get with this guy and I can get so many more followers. It's like, no, you're
My head
cool,
doesn't.
dude. I want to go hang
My
out with you.
brain doesn't work. Yeah, my brain doesn't
I'm
work
gonna
that way.
grow
I
my
don't think
beard
like
out.
that.
So see how far I can get this thing by February.
By
You'll have like a
February.
little
Yeah.
mini me out there. So, all right.
Yeah. People won't be able to tell the
Guys,
difference.
thank you so much for joining in. Make sure you give Justin a follow on social media. Make sure you're subbed. If you're new here, make sure you're subbed to my channel. I'm going to stream again, guys, tomorrow night with Epic Eric, hopefully. We're going to talk some jerk baits, maybe some more Black Friday
Dude,
deals.
man,
6 Cents website,
awesome.
BF20 for Black Friday.